Hi everyone, I'm here today to do a little craft which will hopefully connect with Lane's story about Ruth. So it's a very straightforward craft, hopefully, and using things that you've got at home. The main thing you will need is a piece of paper or a piece of card. That can be white or in any beautiful colour, whatever you happen to fancy. So whatever you've got at home, it doesn't really matter if it's paper or card. The person you make this for will love it, whatever it's made out of. So you can choose any colour you like. You will also need, at a minimum, some coloured pens, some other coloured paper, and possibly a glue stick and some scissors. There are lots of other things you can do. I've got lots more suggestions than just those things. However, those are the basics that you'll need. We're going to make ourselves a card. And we're going to make a card to send to somebody. You've probably done lots of things like this already, but it's nice to remember those people that aren't with us and that we're separated from at this time, and to show them how much we love them. Now, I am going to choose, I was looking at my card, and I think I'm going to choose a black piece today, because it will make everything else stand out and you'll be able to see it well. So the first thing I'm going to do is to fold the card. Here we are. If I move it like that, you can only see part of me, but you can see more of what I'm doing. My card is actually a little bit dirty on the inside, but I'm not going to worry about that because it's something that I have. There we are. Let's change that. So I've got my card and I folded it in half. And you can make it this size, whatever size you like. If you're making it my size, this is half an A4 piece of paper. That's like the school paper, the paper that goes in your computer printer. That's where everything in our house gets taken from. I have discovered that the easiest thing to make a circle to fit is this. That is a £2 coin. If you haven't got a £2 coin, you could look for something else around to draw around. You can use your glue stick lid. You could just draw a circle. Ask somebody in your family to make you a circle that you can draw around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the £2 coin onto your paper, and you're going to draw around it like this. Okay, here's my circle. I'm going to just draw around it. I'm going to use blue paper. You could use white paper and colour it in patterns. I've got green paper and I've got some pink paper. Now I'm just going to cut out, I think I might want about 6 balloons, but I'll start with just 3. I'm not great at cutting circles, so I'm just going to give it a quick go. Don't worry too much. As I said, the person you're making it for will absolutely love it. And if your circles aren't perfect, well, they'll be a bit like mine, and that's absolutely fine. So I do apologise. I keep disappearing off the top of the screen, don't I? So I've cut one pink circle out. And now I'm going to go for my green one. I wonder what colours you're going to choose at home. I mean, I've said 6. You can have as many as you like. What we're going to be doing is sending some smiles across the miles to the people that we love. So have a think about who you might want to send your card to. I've got one more left to do. I've got my blue one. That only makes 3. But luckily for all of you, I've got some that I made earlier. So I've got my 3 circles, which are vaguely circle shaped, and I'm putting them onto my card. So I'm going to take those pieces away, finish with those, and here are 3 more that I made earlier. Yay! So when you have got all of your circles, now we're going to put them into a basket. We're going to attach them to some string. Now there's all sorts of things you can do. You can draw them if you've got a pen. You might like to stick some ribbon, cut some strips of ribbon like this, and then we can stick them onto our card and attach. I quite like the green. It looks like green stalks. Alternatively, maybe I've got some silver thread, which I used on one of my cards, which I've made earlier. Oh, can't find the end of it. Where's it gone? And they then look like balloons, I think, flying up into the sky, like that. So you could do all sorts of things. Whatever you've got lying around, you might have got some wool. If you haven't got any ribbons, there's a little tip that I've discovered that lots of ladies' tops have got these little ribbons inside them to stop them falling off the coat hanger. You could always ask Mum if you can have one of those, or whoever you live with, if she's got any of those dangly strings inside, ribbons inside a top she doesn't want anymore. So I am going to stick on my green ribbons today. Now, ribbon can be a bit tricky to stick on. This is my tip. When you're trying to stick on something very thin, I put it on top of the glue. I put my thumb on top, which does make your thumb a little bit sticky, and then I pull it through, and then the glue all fits onto there, and then it sticks. And when I've got it stuck on, I can put glue onto my circle. You can add the glue to your circle, or you can put the glue where you like, and then I'm going to cover up just the top of that there, like that. So I've got a couple of those. I'm going to stick one more on. I tell you what, actually, I think if I can find an end, or even if I can't find an end, I might use a little bit of my silver thread to show you how that one works. I haven't forgotten to bring my paint over with me. Otherwise, I could have painted one. So if you don't feel like sticking, you could do painting. So I'm going to put this silver thread here. I did exactly the same thing, and it's a bit long, but that's okay because I can chop that off later. And I'm going to put my blue one on here. Now, they don't look very exciting yet, and we want to send some smiles. So I'm going to need a pen, and I'm going to use a dark brown pen because that's the black. The black doesn't work. Oh, I'll have a purple pen. That'll be okay. I'm going to draw on here smiley faces. Now, I quite like, you can have ordinary smiles, so I'm going to do two dots for eyes. I could also do a nice smile. I also then remembered emojis. So I thought I'd have a winking, smiling emoji. Here he is, look. He's got a wink and a smile. I wonder how many different smiley faces you can come up with. We're going to cover our card with circles and faces to send some smiles. So I'll put that one to one side, and if I can find them, I will show you some I made earlier. Now, these aren't all finished, so I've got extra bits and pieces still to go on these. So this one, I didn't draw those or cut them out. Well, I drew the eyes on. That one, I wonder if you can spot what they are made from. They're buttons. And I learnt when I was making this one, it's really important, draw the stalk on first. Otherwise, you put your buttons and you have to go round them and they go really, really wiggly. So you can draw or stick them on first. I've got another button here. That one, when I was decorating, it went slightly wibbly. I've given him glasses. Look, I've gone round the buttonholes in his eyes. And my good old glue stick will stick that on. So I'm going to pop him on there. Just like that. And you can see at the bottom I've made a little it makes it look a sign to be hanging from my balloons. This one says, hello. That might be backwards on your screen. I'm very sorry. And I found some stickers. I used a lollipop stick. Actually, I used 2 lollipop sticks there. You will need a grown-up to help you cut them. But then they stick on with your glue stick as well. And I've decorated my strings with little bows. I might pop another couple of bows on. What colour shall I do those? I might put a couple of green bows on this one. So I used a green card, and I've used all sorts of different coloured buttons. Of course, you could use all the same, or you might have black. And I used a Sharpie actually to draw on the top. Check with mum and dad whether that's okay first, okay, or whoever it is that you live with. So I've popped some more little bows. I've just drawn those on, and I found some stickers in a book, and I've stuck stickers on, and that one says hello. I've also got this one. Oh, it hasn't got its bottom on it yet. Let's have a look and see if I can find a piece to put on the bottom. I've got another funky. These are made of funky foam, and look at my emojis there, the heart eyes and the winky face and a pair of glasses. And these are strips of wrapping paper, because if you haven't got any ordinary paper, you might discover some wrapping paper. Actually, the strips are even made from Christmas paper, so you can use whatever you like. So there's some Christmas paper, and I have used the strips to make stalks for that one, and I stuck them on using the glue stick. And here's a little basket. That one looks like a flower pot. Oh, and I've got a blank emoji one there. So let's put a couple of eyes on him. Shall we give him a big open smiley mouth? Hang on, I'm going to draw it. Here we go. Yay! What do you think? A big open smiley mouth? A happy one. Okay, I'm going to stick him on. Use the Pritt stick. So I happen to have a bit of funky foam at home, but if you don't, that's okay. You can use whatever you like. Here we go. And I'll show you, I've got 2 more that I've made already. and some other little bits. So there's my funky foam one. Feel free to cover. I'd love to see any that you make. You can always send a photo into our Facebook page or email to Lane. Here I've made these. These have got, look what I've put on for these. I had some wiggly eyes, and they are all made out of wrapping paper. I've got rainbows. I've got Olaf. I've got some very old triangles, and I've got look at this one. Lego. That's Samuel, you can hear in the background, and I've left one of these, look. I don't need to put a smile on that one because it's already got a great big smile. So I'll quickly stick that on there. Oh, I haven't got a string for him. Well, do you know, I don't think it matters. Maybe Olaf is floating away all on his own over there. I think maybe he's floating away, or I might put a string on him later. And for this basket, that's off a cereal packet. I'm just going to put a bit of glue. I've decided I wanted the brown side, but you could use any coloured side. I'm sure you've got some of these things in your house. There we are. He's in his, there in their basket. That one makes me think of a hot air balloon. So I've got one left, and that one's painted. If you don't feel like doing other types of craft, I've painted some on. Oh, the purple does have a face. He doesn't show up very well. He just needs some strings, and I thought I'm just going to draw those on. And actually, I'm going to draw wiggly strings, like little balloons, like helium balloons, if you might see sometimes, or we used to see anyway, didn't we? Around and about when we were out shopping. So I've popped some helium balloons in there, and then we are about done. I've got one last thing that we need to stick on. I wonder, oh, I've got a beautiful bow. I might pop that bow on somewhere. Which one would like a bow, do you think? This one? Should I put it on there? That's another of those bits of ribbon coming from underneath the top of mine. Sneaky ribbons that dangle everywhere and get in the way. So I've put a ribbon on that one. You can decorate them in whatever way you like. I have got some sparkly sequins. I haven't used those. I've got all sorts of things. I've got paper napkins, serviettes that you could cut out your circles from, all lovely things that you can do, and then we can send them to a friend. I'm just looking, I had a sign, but I've lost it. Oh, and pieces of felt. I cut a felt circle out. That's a little bit tricky, but you might like to give it a go. All sorts of lovely things I would love, and you can write on them. The sign I had said sending smiles, but I've lost it. Tell you what, I'll make a new one. I wrote sending smiles, sending smiles. It's backwards again. Oh no, I can't write backwards, I'm afraid, folks. And then I cut it out like this, and I put a little, I made it into a bit of a flag. How did I do it? Like that. And then I was going to stick it on here. I'm sending smiles. And if you remember on that one, I wrote on the basket on the bottom. You can write whatever you like. Send it to somebody that you care about, who you haven't seen for ages. Let them know that you're a faithful friend and that you love them and that you're thinking about them. Hope you enjoy. I'd love to see some pictures. Have a look around your house, see what else you could use to make smiley faces with on your cards. Bye.